spark of naval guns. War is a Marine dive bomber. War is a Marine raider. Ask the Marine about war. He'll tell you it means attack. Attack by the paramarine. Effective, deadly. Attack by tank. Swift, decisive. Attack, attack, attack. That's the credo of the fighting Marine. But today, war is a complicated business. It takes more than a paramarine, a raider, a tank, a mortar squad to win a battle. It takes more than planes, more than sharpshooters, more than spirit and guts. Somewhere between the battlefront and the home front, a tremendous machine of administration is in operation 24 hours a day. The Herculean task of providing proper transportation for troops, of making out reports, of classifying and transferring the thousands of new Marines. The success of a battle 7,000 miles away depends on these people who sort and file away and punch out millions of paper bullets every day. The job of keeping a war machine running efficiently requires the services of thousands of Marines. So vital is this job at home that thousands of fighting men, despite their intensive and valuable training, may never smell the tang of battle. Something had to be done about it. Something had to be done about wasting this highly capable warrior. Bataan and Corregidor had become legends. Wake Island had been branded into history with an indelible iron. A Marine writes his dear sirs with a howling machine gun, and they're addressed to Japs and Nazis. No question. Something had to be done about it.
And something was done about it. No one doubted the essentiality of the work at home. At the same time, no one could doubt that a Marine who wasn't fighting was a wasted Marine. The solution to the riddle was a bombshell, the birth of the Marine Corps Women's Reserve. Born February 13, 1943, of necessity, the women Marines mushroomed into a sizable force of eager, full-fledged reserves who were ready to step into the breach. In July, Camp Lejeune at New River, North Carolina, became the official training headquarters for women Marines. From the plains, the mountains, the cities, have poured a constant stream of women. From Compton, California, from Pawnee City, Nebraska, from Marysville, Missouri, from Gloucester, Massachusetts, they've come to do a job.
We're from Texas, too. Rode on the train 4 days before we pulled up at Camp Lejeune. And mind you, 3 of those traveling days were not in Texas. The Marine Corps band was there to meet us at the station, and that was nice. There were also a couple of women sergeants to meet us, and that was nice, too. Somebody said the colonel was there, and I was just beginning to wonder, and then I saw him. That's his dog, the Scotty.
Eyes front.
I could tell from that first day I was going to like the Marine Corps. One thing a Marine learns right away is how to stand in line. There was a Marine driving the bus, and I thought, one of these days I'll be driving this bus, and he can send back postcards from Tokyo, and I'll give him my address before he leaves. After we got squared away, which means to set up housekeeping in the barracks, we met the chaplain. You know, some of us had never been away from home before, and, well, just knowing there was someone you could have a man-to-man talk with, no matter what your religion was, well, it felt like home, that's all. Some people think a woman consists of a pair of silk stockings and a smile, but not the Marine Corps. They look through you with one of those x-rays, and they want to know if you're all there. Everybody knows the thing a Marine likes to do best, next to fighting, is eating, and that means have you got good teeth. They don't exactly care about the color of your eyes. They want to know, can you see with them? When I left home, Mom said to look up a doctor if I felt even the least little bit sick. Well, Mom can stop worrying. Here, the doctor looks you up. By the time you're fingerprinted, and you've looked at the birdie, well, you don't have to show it to anybody. At last, after you've begun to think that time will never really come, it's there. The uniform. Oh, golly, I never thought I'd want to wear the same thing as any other girl, but, well, I almost bawled when I put on my first suit of GI. All the enlisted girls are given $200 allowance for clothing, and that means 2 winter service uniforms, hats, shoes, summer outfits, purses, a wool-lined raincoat that'd cost one of you civilians $41. Then there's a lot of theses and thoses and thingamajigs, you know. Drop around sometime and I'll let you romp through my locker. The women Marines take a great pride in their appearance, and we have our uniforms tailored to fit us, which is a little different from the men who have to tailor themselves to fit the uniform. Some girls never had any special training, but the Marine Corps has a way of finding out what you can do best. And that's where 2 years of high school or business school come in handy. They want to know not only how much you know and how fast you can think of it, but also how fast you can learn it. My very dear friends, this is a GIDI, government-issued drill instructor to you. He says something like, you look too weak, rump, you look too weak, rump, you look too weak, rump. What he's really saying is 1, 2, 3, 4, you left 2, 3, 4, real much. But if he said that, everybody could understand him. We look something like this our first week. You really can't imagine how many left feet you have until you begin to drill. You're taught how to walk all over again. Underneath, he's really a very understanding man.
Did you ever hear of a Marine drill instructor who was a perfect lady? Then meet Corporal Winton.
Right, oblique, smart. Forward, smart. 1 up, reach for your left, right, left. Left flank, smart. Right flank, smart.
The Marine is not only first to face the enemy, he's number 1 on the drill field. You may wear a rut in the field. You may have to re-sole your shoes a couple of times, but you learn to march the Marine Corps way. However, it's not all thunder and double time in boot camp. There are times when you get a chance to become acquainted with your mate. You smoke a cigarette, listen to the other girls talk. Maybe you tell them about the boyfriend in the Solomon Islands. You answer the best gift the folks back home can give you, a letter. You find out that Pa is getting ready for the spring planting. Ma's got a blue star up in the window for you. Your kid brother is going to graduate from grammar school. It's a piece of home. It's not only permitted, it's encouraged. After all, a girl has to keep up her morale. Make sure the fingernail polish matches the hat cord in color, though. That goes for the lipstick, too. By the time 6 weeks have gone by, you'll learn that women Marines look smart, not obvious.
We learned a lot of things about drilling in 6 weeks. You can tell that by the rhythm of the step. You can feel all the heels hit the ground at the same time. The music beats out the cadence. Nobody calling out left, right. You don't need that anymore. It's hard to remember that little girl who got off the train 6 weeks ago and didn't know her port leg from her starboard. And they know we've got our marching legs on, too. They can tell we're Marines, and good ones. By the time you're passing by the reviewing stand, your heart is doing nip-ups. That's one time you'll never forget. Your eyes get kind of misty, and you don't know what to do with that lump in your throat. Maybe you can't see me, but I'm down there somewhere. A pocket full of pride and all. A boot no more. Private first class, and a full-fledged Marine.
Saturday in camp is an American Saturday. The girls learn that life does not consist solely of drilling, lectures, and military routine. They are now permitted to exchange heartbeats with the men. The recreation hall is a stomping ground where the only face movements are done cheek to cheek and no sergeants to call cadence. It's an old story in a new setting. Thorough as is the recruit training, so too are the media for recreation. The finest equipment is on hand for use. Once a girl's boot training has been completed, a varied and interesting panorama is spread before her. An entire regimental area has been taken over for use by the women. The grounds are studded with green lawns and red brick buildings of permanent structure. Barracks, mess hall, classroom, dispensary, motion picture house, post exchange, laundry, and tailor shop. A well-stocked library with a choice of the best in ancient and modern literature. Well do we know for what we are fighting. And here too, as in the broader sense, we worship as our conscience directs. Regardless of creed, or color, or sex. Far from home, alone, the woman Marine finds extended to her the friendly quietude of church services. A fervent prayer for those who have died, for those who shall live, for our cause, and the part we must play.
Up to now, the girls have only been getting ready for the job that's to come. For in order to better understand the task that lies before them, the women Marines are shown the weapons with which their mates are fighting this war. They learn from actual demonstration that this is no storybook war of chocolate soldiers. It's the real thing, just as theirs is a real job. A job offering little glory and a great deal of hard work, sometimes wearisome work, but nevertheless a necessary part of the All-American team. And it's teamwork that's going to kick Tokyo for a field goal. The indoctrination period over, they now will be assigned to attend various schools. Known for efficiency in the field of battle, the Marine Corps lives up to its standard in the classroom. More than 15 schools teaching scores of subjects are turning out skilled craftswomen to take over jobs. The school courses range from 4 to 21 weeks and include an intensive period of training which will fit the woman Marine for the sort of work she has chosen. The girl often has her choice of subjects, which range from accountants to sheet metal workers to statisticians. For those few who have the necessary qualifications, is set aside the distinction of Officers' Candidate School. The gold bar of a second lieutenant weighs but an ounce. With it, however, comes a pound of tradition. This is the highlight in a candidate's life.
Those women who in civil life held down specialized positions will be placed in jobs immediately. Camp Lejeune boasts of the only post office in the country run completely by women. Experienced telephone operators are at a premium. Combat Signal Battalion Marines are needed at the battlefront, where their work is one of the most important cogs in the successful completion of a war task. The business of making words move across the face of the continent is waiting for those who have had training or can adapt themselves to this sort of work. Marines formerly buttoned down to jobs such as these have already been relieved in great numbers. Their postmark today is somewhere in the South Pacific. The fruits from that idea, born in February of 1943, begin to ripen. Women who have freed a Marine to fight have given a gift to the battle for freedom which cannot be counted in thanks or dollars. More than 11,000 men died on Armistice Day in 1918. If by lending their efforts, the women of America can end this war one day sooner, thousands of homes will welcome back men who might not otherwise return. There are scores of jobs in the Marine Corps for women, jobs which will permit our fighting man to get their firstest with the mostest, jobs that require special skill, and jobs that require merely a native intelligence. With an eye not only to the war's end, but to a world in which women will move into new fields, many Marines are receiving a background with which they can carve a place in the America of tomorrow. For more than half the members of the Women's Reserve will be placed in aviation units. Before this war, a mere dozen or so women had made names for themselves in the field of aviation. A Marine record in aviation will mean a passport to the industry of tomorrow. Her husband is in Army aviation. They'll talk the same language when it's farewell to arms. Some women, subjected to the war of nerves on the home front, the days and nights of tenseness without action, have found an outlet in the Marine Corps through active duty. Aerial photography is an integral part of modern warfare, and today women are fast becoming the prime exponents of aerial photography. As each woman Marine steps into a job behind the battle lines, she presents the Allied cause with the best trained, fightingest man in the world.
These are the women of America who have picked up the gauntlet. Knowing full well that women have a stake in the world of tomorrow, the Lady Marines are lending a hand in the struggle of today. They've joined the service, and service means work. They go where they're sent and perform the job assigned to them, smartly, efficiently. There's no glamour to the job, but the reward that comes with the knowledge of a vital, all-important task well done. For them, calico and lace has been replaced by the proudest green in existence, the official uniform of the Marine Corps Women's Reserve.
This is our country, yours and mine. This is our war, and the victory too shall be ours. Here is your new fashion for victory, our women Marines.